What's up everybody, my name is Brayden and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking all about airport security and packing and my experience with that. I have traveled a lot since I started my transition, so I do have quite a bit of experience with it. But first, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and think about showing that like button some love. Also, I do a positive comment shout out at the end of each video, so go ahead and drop your positive comments so that you can have a chance to have your comment shout it out. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, so obviously the most important thing in this whole video is, look how cute my puppy is in the background. She is so cute right now. She is cuddled up on that couch. I finally finished my game room, guys. I have my, one of my big TVs here. My PS4's hooked up. All my headsets are sitting here. I got my gaming laptop here. I have this massive setup and a really nice gaming PC here where I have worked out a trade with. I traded some. I had leopard geckos and stuff, and I traded those leopard geckos with my brother-in-law for this basically just badass gaming computer. But I still have two of my ball pythons. So all about airport security. That is why we're here. First, I need to talk about the obvious stuff, and it really shouldn't be this way, but unfortunately the way the world is, I have to, put it out there. But I'm obviously a Caucasian male from the United States. So I can only speak for my personal experience traveling. I used to have a Middle Eastern friend who was a cis female, and she was born and raised in the United States. However, every time she traveled, 95% of the time, she would get pulled aside for some random reason just because of profiling. And that's just how it is. Unfortunately, as wrong as it is, that's just how it is. So again, I can only talk about my personal experience as a white male traveling. I have also never traveled while binding. All of my air travel was done after I had top surgery. So I only have experience packing with PACKERs and STPs. Before we get too far into actually going through security, I'm going to explain how the scanner works, because I know a lot of people don't really understand how the body scanner works that you go through when you're, going through security. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if it's going to be your first time traveling, you're most likely going to go through this machine where you step inside, you have to raise your arms like this, and it does this scan of your body. It's really quick. A lot of people get confused because they think that it is scanning a naked image of your person, and that is not the case. All that's happening when you step into that machine is the worker has chosen based on the way you present and how they view you, male or female. There are key places on the body as a female and as a male that the scanner will look for. It's just a generic image basically, and what the scanner does is it looks in those areas and tries to define things that aren't supposed to be there. So if you are, for instance, a female to male, and they hit male and you have not had top surgery yet, then it may flag you. Like I said, I've only traveled after my top surgery. I have not traveled binding, so I'm not going to be much help there. If you're a male to female and you present female and they choose female and you have not had bottom surgery, it is most likely going to flag you. If you are a female to male and you are wearing a gigantic prosthetic, it is most likely going to flag you, because it has been known to flag cis guys with naturally big junk. So it is not a naked image of yourself. They do not see you naked. That is not what it is. If it really makes you uncomfortable to go through the metal detectors and the scanner, then you can always opt to be patted down, and you just need to tell them in advance. Before you approach the actual scanner, you're going to take off your shoes, you're going to empty your pockets, all that good stuff, and that stuff is going to go through the x-ray machine, or I'm not sure what you actually call it, but that actually goes through where they can see what's in your bag. And then you just need to tell the worker that you have a condition where you cannot go through the scanner. For example, someone with a pacemaker is typically advised by their doctors not to go through the scanner. If you have metal implanted in you somewhere or whatever, it's not going to rip out of your body if you go through the scanner. And it's such a low magnetic force that it's not going to interfere with any kind of electronic, stuff that you have going on inside your body. But a lot of doctors will still advise you not to go through it for whatever reason. So you could just tell them that you would rather not go through the scanner and you can opt to be patted down. With that being said, if you choose this option, it is most likely going to take a little bit longer for you to get through security. And also, if you present mail, they are going to run a flat backhand across your chest. For example, one time I forgot to take off my necklace. It was tucked into my shirt and I completely forgot about it. I went through the scanner, but when I got to the other side, I had to, be patted down. And when they did that, he ran a flat backhand across my chest like this. Real quick, no problem, but it is going to happen, so just be prepared for that. The most important thing I can tell you is to be confident from the get-go, from the moment you get to the airport. All of the employees, all the way down to the janitors, are trained to recognize and report suspicious behavior, fidgety hands, anxiousness, always messing in your pockets, adjusting too much, things like that. They're trained for that. There are cameras everywhere, and no matter how many people are in the airport, there are people trained to look for those specific things. So if you're just going to be too nervous from the get-go, I recommend tossing it in your carry-on and dealing with it once you're in the air. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. What size packer should you wear? Okay, so please do not wear your ginormous Real Magics and your ginormous Freedoms and all of that, or any of those packers. You will get flagged. If you're going to fly and pack, stick with a smaller packer. I have never packed with anything through security bigger than 4 inches. And the 4-inch packer that I wore was the Real Magic basic packer, and we all know that that is a very small packer anyway, even though it is 4 inches. 4 inches varies based on the company you buy it from. For instance, I would not pack with my Freedom Sleek, even though it is only 4.5 inches. Just be realistic. What is this guy's average penis size, and pack with that? Because once again, if you wear something that is huge, you are going to get flagged by the machine, because the machine is saying, what the hell is that? STPs, it does not matter what type of STP it is, as long as it's still on the smaller side. What I mean by that is, I actually went through security one time with the bottle nipple setup STP. That was like the only time I got pulled aside in all the traveling I've done since I've packed. And I'm still unsure if that was because I wasn't passing very well yet, or maybe it was sitting weird in my pants, or what. I don't know what the issue was there. But even getting pulled aside then was not a big issue. He asked me to step aside. He just looked me up and down once really quick. Wasn't anything awkward, wasn't anything invasive, and he sent me on my way. So it still was not a big deal, and that was literally the only time I ever got pulled aside packing through security. I'm going to tell you some packers that I have worn through airport security and had success with. The Real Magic basic packers, both the 3-inch and 4-inch, never had any issues. The Gendermender 3-inch super soft with amaze balls, never had any issues, and I had that adhered to me, and I was even wearing just some regular loose boxer briefs. Mr. Limpy 3-inch, and then there was this random STP that I wore through one time that was a little more solid, but it was small and compact. I'll have to actually get that one out sometime and do a review on it, because that was a decent STP. I also just realized that I'm having like this weird, I just looked up here, but I'm having like this weird glare from my window over here. I have never packed with a harness through security. I've only packed through security with tight underwear or adhered to myself. If you normally wear loose underwear, probably not a good idea, because it's going to shift around and maybe fall to the side, or whatever things might look weird on the scanner. So my advice is to pack with tight underwear if you're not going to pack with a harness. And if you are going to pack with a harness, just be prepared that they may trigger some stuff, because I don't have any experience with that, but I can imagine that it has the potential to do so. I have traveled both domestic and international with my packing, so there's no difference there as far as how I was treated and how I was looked at and how I was viewed. Now, if you have tried everything and you still get pulled aside, do not panic, because please remember that this can happen to anybody and you're not going to stand out. It's not like you get pulled aside and everybody behind you is like, oh, well, that guy right there is trans, or that woman right there is trans, and I need to see what's going on because I'm nosy. Most of the time, everybody is anxious and they are busy trying to make sure their stuff's settled, and they're just ready to get through security. So they're not going to be paying attention to you. And remember that if you get pulled aside and you present mail, they are going to run a flat hand against your chest. They are not typically going to ask you anything about your transition. I know that some people have advised that if you get pulled aside, you should explain to them what's going on down there. You're wearing a prosthetic. You could do that if you want to, but most of the time they're not going to care about what's in your pants unless it is there to harm others. They may ask you if you have anything on your person. That is up to you how you want to approach the answer to that question. If it was me, I would say no, I do not have anything illegal on my person. And then I would allow them to conduct their pat down. If you're not embarrassed and you want to discreetly divulge the information, then you can just very politely explain to them that you have to wear a medical prosthetic device. And that should really be all you need to say. I should not have to say this next bit, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do not pack or try to pack drugs into your PACKER or STP. It will not work. You will get caught and you will ruin it for the rest of us. I know that we all want to go to Colorado and sneak a little bit of that sneak back, but you cannot do it. Please don't even try. So we've talked about packing through security, but if you simply are just not confident and you don't want to do that, I'm going to tell you how you could take your PACKER through security and then put it on your person once you get in the air and you have the go ahead to move about the cabin. On most flights, you're allowed a personal item and you're allowed a carry-on bag. This is how I have traveled 100% of the time. I have never, ever checked a bag. I don't like checking bags. I'm not going to check a bag if I don't have to. This is how I travel. Even when I go on bigger trips, you know, I went to Cancun for a week and I packed everything I needed into those 2 bags. I check with my airline before going to see what their size limit is on the carry-on bag. This is going to vary based on your airline and where you are going. Most international flights allow for a slightly bigger carry-on bag. For my personal item, I always use a backpack. A small to medium-sized backpack, and you're going to be fine. If you look on the TSA website, it says that a personal item is a diaper bag or a purse or a laptop bag. Yes, those are your typical personal items. However, I've always carried a small to medium-ish backpack and have never had any problems at all. Nobody ever stops me. Nobody asks me anything. All flights allow a personal item, even if they don't allow a carry-on bag, or even if you have to pay extra for the carry-on bag, the personal item is always free. And once again, personal item means purse, diaper bag, backpack, laptop bag, that kind of thing. So if you're really just not comfortable wearing your PACKER through security, I recommend getting a small bag like the Freedom bags, or you know, like this. One of these like brown bags like this. I recommend getting that, putting your PACKER STP inside of that, and then putting it inside of your personal item. Because your personal item goes at your feet under the seat in front of you, and you will have access to that throughout your flight. Once the pilot gives the go ahead to move about the cabin and you're able to go to the bathroom, reach into the bag, grab your little brown bag or whatever bag you had your PACKER in, put it in your pocket. You can always wear a jacket, toss it into your jacket pocket, go to the bathroom, toss it on your person, and go about your day. Because after you are on that first flight, even if you're going international, you're not going to go through security again, no matter how many layovers you have. You're done with security after that first time. If that still makes you uneasy, you can always wait till you get to your destination. No big deal. At the end of the day, you have to do what is going to be comfortable to you, whatever that is. If you feel most comfortable packing through security and don't mind the possibility of being pulled to the side, just remember it's a temporary situation and you're probably never going to see these people again. If the thought of being pulled aside causes you a lot of anxiety, then just toss it into your personal item like we discussed earlier and do with it what you want once you're on the plane and in the air. Alright guys, I hope that video was helpful if you're going to be traveling and wondering how to go about packing. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I will do my very best to answer it. Positive comment shout out of the day goes to Slava Gorbanov. I hope I said that right. Slava says, love your channel, man. Hope you'll post more videos. I watched almost all of your videos. You give off a very nice vibe. Appreciate it, man. Remember, all you guys are beautiful people, and I will see you back next time.